So good evening. This is a wonderful time of day for me because this is where I leave Mr. Brindle downstairs watching his favourite box set, and up I come into my bathroom where everything happens, and I can really spend some time really paying attention to my skin before I go to sleep. So what am I doing here? Well, what I'm going to do and show you this evening is my evening routine using the Hayo'u beauty oil, multiple award winning, followed by 3 beautiful Clear Quartz products that we have in our range. So the first one is, of course, the Beauty Restorer itself, multiple award winning, followed by our wonderful Clear Compress, which is absolutely gorgeous, like a dewdrop of rain. And then we have our Clear Quartz Precision. With these 3 tools, I'm going to show you how to do a wonderful facial to prep your skin for the evening. So first things first is we need to clean our skin and make sure that your skin is lovely, clean and ready to apply the beauty oil. So then next you take the beauty oil, just do a few little drops like that, probably 4 or 5, warm the oil. Now immediately you're going to get these aromatherapy benefits because this oil is infused with lotus and lang-lang and frankincense, leaving you feeling this all-important fragrance of relaxed yet energized, which is what we're after, rather than that tired but restless feeling. It's that wonderful aroma. It's slightly warm and calming, but it's got a little top note of lemongrass sitting at the top, just giving it a slight ping at the top. So that already is going to start doing the trick. And these wonderful, it's got camellia oil in it too, so it's really going to be lubricating the skin if it's been dried out from weather or wind or excessive screen watching. Now, then the first thing is that I'm going to take the Clear Quartz Beauty Restorer. Now, I like to use 2. We just do 6 sweeps down the throat. Now, 2 is fantastic because it's really giving you that salon experience when you're doing the Gua Sha for yourself at home. You're really working into the skin. And something that I say to people all the time when I'm teaching them this is, if you just use your fingers, what happens is the nerve endings on your fingertips are much quicker to the brain than any other part of the body. That's kind of one of our survival mechanisms. So if you're using your fingers on your face, you get a very confused signal because the fingertips are getting in the way. The minute you're holding a tool, the brain recognizes that you're holding this tool, and therefore all of the pleasure signals are coming from the skin on your face itself. So it starts to feel like a really lovely, relaxing facial that you would have in a spa. So it's definitely worth investing in double crystals so that you can really play that game and really give yourself that treat that we need every day. Because self-care is such an important aspect now of what we need to do. It's not just a question of removing makeup, brushing our teeth and kind of crawling into bed. We need to give back to our bodies. And these crystals are a wonderful way of doing it. They're like little jewels of our self-care, is how I describe them. So I'm just press stroking gently over the skin like this, and then I'll do the double end there and sculpt up. The other really important thing about Clear Quartz is it's called the Master Healer in Chinese medicine, and the idea is that it really has a high frequency. So when we're stressed and we're looking at screens, there's that sort of like kind of feeling that we get in our heads, which after a day of that can be quite exhausting and can show itself on the skin. So with the Clear Quartz crystal, not only are you getting all the amazing benefits of Gua Sha, which I'll go into in a minute, but you're also getting this beautiful frequency that's clearing all of that debris out of the skin, moving it away from its held place in the muscles, supporting the lymphatic system to just allow that to sweep away and down into the lower lymph glands here, where you can then send them away using other techniques that we can talk about, like tapping and bathing. So for now, that's going to already give you the most amazing kind of lift, plump, sculpt look to the skin. But you can go deeper. So the next step of the journey is to take the precisions. Now the precisions have been designed to work into these small little nooks and crannies and little lines and wrinkles. You can really go deeper into your facial workout. So just into the eyebrows here. The eyebrows in Chinese medicine are related to the gallbladder. And the gallbladder is all about decision making. So often you find if you have to make a lot of decisions that it will weaken the eyebrows and that the hairs will start to fall out the edges here, or indeed make them go a bit grey. So it's very useful to use the precisions to just go over the eyebrow area and then into this little area here as well, just into that little nook and cranny there. And then we can just pad them around the bottom of the eyes like this, and then over the eyes. And again, what you'll find with this is this wonderful, this just fantastic unctuous feeling with this beautiful kind of lump of crystal that you're holding, and the frequency. And because they're so highly curated, you can leave them out under the moonlight pretty much every night, to be honest. I know a lot of people do this in full moons, but to be honest, I put my crystals out every night. The moon is always there, and the moon brings different energies with her depending on the day. It's not just on the full moon. So because these crystals are so brilliantly made, you can really cash in on that wonderful yin energy and bringing it into your skincare. So I'm just working up into these upper areas here with the precision. This is a very good area to work, because often with our faces we want to do this, sort of lifting them up, and actually working along the hairline like this is a very good way of doing that. And the precision lends itself to that technique, and it's very good for lifting the kind of the top part of the face like that. Also related to the kidney area in face reflexology. And often it's because the kidneys are weakening that everything tends to start slackening and drooping on our skin. So it's very useful to work around the parameters of the face as well. Then you can use the precisions over the lip lines, like here, and the lips themselves. Really good for stimulating the spleen and the heart. And then over the moustache area here, this is very good for the large intestine. So that's a very good area to work also into that nasolabial groove here with the precisions. You can just use one and just sculpt across like this. And then finally, having completed a little bit of work with the fine lines and wrinkles with that precision, you can turn it round and you can stimulate these little areas. There's some specific chi points which are very good. And now energy moves in circles. So really what you want to do is turn that precision round and just stimulate these points here and here and here. It's very, very relaxing on the skin because you're working on these very calming points on the body. And this one here, yin tang, this is a really fabulous point. And then finally, we then move to these, which are the compresses. Now, it's a slightly different technique. These are gorgeous, okay? These are very unctuous, they're very heavy, they're like little paperweights, and they're just like really big, thick drops of dew coming into the skin. Now, you use a more circular technique, like I've just shown you with the precision, whereby you're moving in circles, because that's how the chi moves. So not only are we press stroking with the Gua Sha, but we're turning and working the chi to really fill any kind of hollow areas, anything that's sort of looking like it's shrinking or collapsing slightly. It's a wonderful massage to move lymphatics, to strengthen blood flow, and to move the all-important chi around the face. Not to mention, the sensation of clear quartz on the skin, which is absolutely second to none. It has got the most divine sensation when you're doing this. You feel so peaceful when you're working. I also like using the clear quartz down my throat like this. This is really good for colds and coughs and prevention thereof, allergies, hay fevers, dust, kind of anything where you're sort of going like that. This is really good. So you just work deeply into there. Oh, it's such a lovely feeling. So that is basically my clear quartz face massage. So I've been using double compresses, double precisions, double clear quartz restorers, and of course my much loved, let's put the lid back on, my much loved beauty oil. So enjoy.